Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're jumping straight into a real puzzle of human behavior, self-sabotage. You know that feeling, right?
Yeah.
You work so hard for something, you're right there, and then bam, something goes wrong. You fumble.
Yeah, it's that invisible wall you hit.
Yeah.
And it can be maddeningly precise. We're looking at Dr. Maxwell Maltz's work today, which really gets to the heart of this.
Right.
Think about that salesman example, Peter. Always hitting 9,900 pounds when the target was 10,000 pounds, month after month.
Wow. So close.
Exactly. And Maltz would say, look, it's not bad luck, it's not incompetence. He was basically programmed for almost.
Program for almost. That really hits home, that feeling of getting stuck just below the target.
And that's the signal we're chasing in this deep dive. What builds that ceiling? Maltz figured this out way back, He was a surgeon.
Reconstructive surgeon, yeah.
Right, and he saw these self-limiting patterns in his patients, ages before neuroscience could really explain the why.
So our mission today is to really unpack Maltz's big idea. The real roadblock isn't skill or even motivation sometimes.
No, it's this internal autopilot, this invisible barrier tied right into your self-image. And we want to give you the steps Maltz laid out to update that internal program so success actually starts to feel, well, normal.
Okay, let's tackle that self-image barrier first.
Yeah.
Because Maltz's main discovery, it kind of flips everything we think about motivation upside down, doesn't it? We usually think, oh, I'm just afraid of failing.
Right, that's the standard narrative. But Maltz found failure is often just the outward sign. The real fear, deep down, it's transformation.
Transformation, not failure.
Yeah, the huge disruption to your identity that real success demands. It's a really deep, almost primal thing.
Wait, hold on. Fearing change more than the pain of staying stuck?
Yeah.
That sounds counterintuitive. How does that even work at our brains, our nervous system?
Well, think about the nervous system's prime directive, survival. And for the brain, survival often equals familiarity. It prioritizes what it knows, what feels safe, even if that known thing is, say, chronic debt or being stuck in a dead-end job or those same frustrating relationships over and over.
So the familiar pain feels safer than unfamiliar success.
To the subconscious. Often, yes, unfamiliar success gets flagged as potential danger. It's unknown territory.
So Peter the salesman hitting 9,900 pounds. That was his familiar zone. His identity was the guy who almost makes 10K.
Exactly. 9,900 pounds was home base. 10,000 pounds meant becoming someone new, maybe the top performer. And his internal system went, whoa, danger zone, retreat.
And that retreat looks like subtle slowdowns, maybe a missed call, a sudden problem that pops up.
Precisely. Maltz had a great term for it. It's not failure, it's stabilization. The nervous system yanking you back to the old equilibrium because, and this is key, the mind just won't let you consistently act and feel in ways that are contrary to the image you hold of yourself.
If your internal thermostat is set to struggler, then big success feels like what? Like an emergency?
Like an earthquake, yeah. It triggers the alarms.
Okay, that's actually kind of a relief to hear. It reframes it, doesn't it? We beat ourselves up for failing, but maybe our system was just doing its protective job based on old data.
It's not a moral failing. It's more like a software glitch, an outdated program running.
A glitch we can fix.
Absolutely. And Maltz gave us the tools. He said we all have two fundamental built-in guidance systems, a success mechanism and a failure mechanism.
Let's start with the good one, the success mechanism. When that's running smoothly, what does it feel like? What does it do?
Think of it as your natural default operating system for achieving goals. It's automatic, it's creative, it's usually pretty calm, and it's self-correcting, like a guided missile.
A guided missile, how so?
Well, you give it a clear target, the conscious mind sets the goal, then the mechanism takes over, constantly adjusting its course based on feedback, making small corrections, homing in on the target without a lot of conscious fuss or strain.
Okay, automatic, calm, corrective. That sounds ideal. But then what happens when it gets jammed? We fall into the failure mechanism.
Exactly. And that's what we see in those high-stakes moments, like the golfer you mentioned earlier, facing a simple 3-foot putt to win, and they just miss it completely.
Yeah, the classic choke.
That's the failure mechanism in action. It's reactive, it's tense, and the big hallmark is intense self-consciousness. You start watching yourself.
Watching yourself. And that connects to neuroscience.
It does. Modern science calls it prefrontal interference. That's a bit technical, but...
Break it down for us. What's prefrontal interference actually doing to mess things up?
Okay, so your prefrontal cortex, that's your thinking, planning, analytical brain part.
Right. Logic central.
When you're in flow, maybe nailing a presentation, inside out that part is quiet, your skills are running automatically. But the second you start analyzing your own performance midstream, am I talking too fast? Did they like that point? Oh no, I think I forgot something.
The analytical brain jumps in and takes over.
It hijacks the whole process. It's like trying to walk by consciously telling each muscle, okay, lift now, move forward now, put the foot down.
You'd stumble immediately.
Guaranteed, you create tension and stuttering. That self-surveillance just jams the smooth automatic system. So the failure mechanism is basically your brain tripping over its own feet because the conscious mind is trying too hard to control things.
So trying harder, gritting your teeth, tensing up.
Yeah.
That's not just useless, it's actually the cause of the problem. It jams the success mechanism.
Fundamentally, yes. Maltz stressed this. Success is often allowed by trusting the system, not built by straining against it.
Wow. Allowed, not forced. That leads us back to that comfort zone idea, doesn't it? Why we stick with the familiar, even if it's painful. The comfort of the cage.
Exactly. Why does the brain prioritize the known, even known misery? It's the limbic system, the older emotional part of the brain.
Its job is just survival.
Its job is survival, and known equals survived before, so known equals safe. It doesn't really judge if the known is good or bad, just that it's predictable.
And when you start doing better, start breaking out of that known pattern.
The limbic system can hit the alarm bell. Warning, unfamiliar territory. This is why Maltz's observations with his surgery patients were so profound.
Right, the ones who got face-altering surgery.
Yeah. He'd perform technically perfect operations. Some patients would emerge transformed, confident, embracing their new look, but others remained withdrawn, acting as if they were still disfigured, convinced the surgery didn't take.
Even though objectively, their face was changed.
Objectively, yes, but their internal self-image hadn't changed. The scalpel fixed the outside, but the identity inside was still the disfigured person.
So the new face felt alien, dangerous even, to their old identity.
It was too big a leap. The subconscious couldn't integrate it. And this explains why so many external changes don't stick for people, right? The weight loss that comes back, the lottery winner who ends up broke again.
The person who leaves a terrible job only to find another one exactly like it.
Exactly. The subconscious is just restoring the previous equilibrium. It's pulling reality back into alignment with the internal self-image, because that image hasn't grown yet. Success doesn't feel like home.
Okay, this is huge. Understanding it's a mechanism, not a character flaw. But how do we actually change the mechanism? How do we update that internal autopilot?
Well, the great thing is, Maltz didn't just diagnose, he gave us the how. 3 key steps. And the very first one is awareness.
Noticing.
Noticing, but in a specific way. Awareness is what breaks the trance of habit. But it can't be vague, like, oh, I feel bad.
Needs to be precise.
Yes. The technique is, when you catch yourself doing the self-sabotaging thing, procrastinating on that crucial task, endlessly scrolling social media right before something important, hesitating to make the call that could change everything.
Okay, I recognize those.
Right when you catch it, you have to interrupt the usual internal script. And crucially, do not beat yourself up. Self-criticism just feeds the failure mechanism.
So no scolding. What then?
You observe it, almost like a detached scientist, and you label it specifically.
Label it how?
You say to yourself, clearly, that's my old failure habit, or there's that old pattern again.
That's my old failure habit.
Okay.
What does that specific label do? Why is that phrasing important?
It creates instant distance. Psychologists call it meta-awareness. You shift from identifying with the behavior, I am a procrastinator, to observing it. Ah, there's that habit of procrastination showing up.
So you separate yourself from the habit. It's not me. It's a thing I do, an old program.
Precisely. It's mechanical, it's outdated, it's not the core you. The second you label it like that, you stop fighting yourself and start managing a mechanism. You regain choice.
It's like taking your foot off the brake you didn't even realize you were pressing.
Exactly. So awareness stops the interference. But now, the success mechanism needs new coordinates, right? A new target. Which brings us to step 2. Visualization.
Ah, visualization.
Yeah.
We hear about this a lot. Sometimes it sounds a bit fluffy, wishful thinking.
Oh, it can sound that way, but Maltz's take was very practical, very neurological. He saw it as essential training for the nervous system.
Training. How so?
Because, and this is wild, the subconscious mind literally doesn't distinguish clearly between a real experience and one that's vividly imagined with emotion.
Really?
Yeah. When you mentally rehearse something intensely, the same neural pathways fire as if you were actually doing it. Think about pilots in simulators or elite athletes mentally running through their routines.
They're building muscle memory in their brain.
Exactly. They're grooving the pathways. But here's the Maltz twist, the genius part. Don't just visualize the final outcome, the trophy, the finished book, the deal closed.
What should we visualize then?
You need to visualize yourself succeeding, the identity of the successful person. Mentally rehearse the feeling and the actions of succeeding until it feels completely normal.
Normal. Not exciting or triumphant.
Well, maybe a little, but the key is familiarity. If your goal is, say, confidently leading meetings, visualize yourself being calm under pressure, see your posture, hear your steady voice asking good questions, feel the relaxed confidence. You're building the physiology of familiarity.
You're making the successful version of you feel like home base before you get there externally.
Wow. The more real and familiar that internal movie feels, the more the subconscious accepts it as the new reality. Then success stops feeling foreign or dangerous. Think of Tiger Woods rebuilding his golf swing.
Yeah, completely changing it mid-career. Huge risk.
Huge risk to short-term results. But he was deliberately updating his internal identity, moving from champion with this swing to evolving master with this new, better system. The identity shift came first.
That's serious commitment to rewiring. Okay, so step 1. Awareness and labeling. Step 2, visualization of the successful identity until it feels normal. What's the final step?
The final step is perhaps the most challenging, especially for driven people. It's trust and relaxation.
Trust and relaxation. That sounds passive. We're supposed to achieve goals by relaxing.
Paradoxical, isn't it? But remember what jams the success mechanism. Tension, strain, trying too hard. Success isn't built by muscling through. Maltz argued it's allowed through trust in the automatic system.
So when we're tense, anxious, gripping too tight, we're actually activating the failure mechanism, that prefrontal interference again.
You got it. If you're writing something important and your jaw is clenched, shoulders are up by your ears, you're breathing shallowly, you're sending danger signals, you're forcing it. And that jams creativity and precision.
Which means things like perfectionism or constantly feeling burnt out. They might actually be sneaky forms of self-sabotage, keeping us too tense to succeed smoothly.
Often, yes. They keep you so busy trying that you never actually relax enough to let the success mechanism work. Look at top performers in any field, athletes, artists, surgeons. There's a calmness, right? A relaxed confidence.
Yeah, they make it look easy. Effortless, almost.
Because true mastery, Maltz said, kicks in when you stop forcing the outcome and start allowing accuracy. Effort without ease leads to erratic aim. He literally said that.
Effort without ease leads to erratic aim. Okay, so practically, if someone listening is facing a big presentation or a tough conversation, what does trust and relaxation actually look like?
It means consciously checking in, noticing the physical tension, shoulders, jaw, breath, and deliberately easing it. Take a deep breath. Consciously relax your shoulders before you start. It's a physical signal of safety to your brain.
You're telling your nervous system, it's okay, you can let the automatic system run now.
Exactly. You're getting out of your own way. Let's circle back to Peter the salesman, stuck at 9,900 pounds.
Right. How did he break through?
He stopped straining so hard at the 10,000-pound mark. He started applying steps. He noticed the familiar end-of-month slowdown and labeled it. There's the old habit. Then he visualized the new identity. Not just seeing 10 pang on the report, but feeling the calmness and ease of being someone who normally closes that much. He changed his internal goal phrasing to something like, I am easily and comfortably closing 10,000 pounds plus each month.
So he made the feeling of success familiar first.
Yes. Once his subconscious accepted that new, relaxed identity, the internal resistance dropped. The interference stopped, and apparently his sales then flowed past the 10,000-pound mark without the old struggle. He stopped fighting himself.
That's such a powerful reframe. The ultimate takeaway here seems to be that self-sabotage isn't some deep character flaw we need to hate ourselves for.
Not at all. Maltz saw it simply as a signal. A message from an outdated part of your self-image that's trying to protect you based on old information. The goal isn't to destroy that part of you, but to gently update it.
Update it with awareness, visualization, and that calm trust. Because the real enemy wasn't ever failure or lack of talent or even the goal itself. It was the self-interference, that internal tug of war.
Exactly. And if you feel that familiar resistance creeping in just when you're about to level up that urge to procrastinate, doubt yourself, find problems,
Recognize it.
recognize it. See it as growth approaching the edge of familiarity. Smile at the old protective habit, label it, take a breath, and step forward anyway. Because success shouldn't have to feel like a constant battle.
It comes from alignment, not just effort. When you stop fighting yourself, maybe success starts feeling less like a struggle and more like coming home.
Beautifully put.
So the question for everyone listening today is, what successful identity do you need to start visualizing, start making familiar so your next breakthrough feels completely, comfortably like home?